We're back, y'all. As you know, got a lot to talk about today. We just came back from
How we do?
2 back-to-back movies.
Back to backs.
Fantastic Four, Superman.
Fantastic.
I don't know if you want to jump right into it, bro.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to stretch it, and the thing is, like, I just want us both to be clear with our opinions when it comes to this movie and stuff like that, because both were fire.
They're good.
And fantastic.
They're good. They're a little bit good.
What do you want to talk about first?
All right, how about this? Which one do you like better? And then we'll start with that one.
Which one do you like better?
Because
I'm kind of, the thing is, I'm indecisive about it.
Oh my God, bro. Okay. We'll start. All right. So me personally, I like Superman more. So let's talk about that.
What would you give Superman out of 10?
For what it was, I would say solid 8. Solid 8 out of 10.
I think I'm just generous with my ratings,
What
bro,
are you
because,
doing? What are you giving?
because I did a review video on it. I gave that shit like a 9.5.
A 9.5. It wasn't a bad movie. It was great. It was very profitable.
I don't know if it was just because I don't go to the theaters by myself. This was like the first time. So I don't know if it was just because I enjoyed that so much, just going by myself and like chilling, having like the food delivered to me, as well as like the movie just being good.
You're letting your stomach decide the rating.
It was just a great time overall, and I was really enjoying myself. So then I was just like, has to be a 9.5.
Yeah, that's kind of biased though. That's kind of extremely biased with the food there.
No, but even after watching it back over when I was doing the review, like I still really enjoyed it. Like it felt very comic booky, like super exaggerated, especially with Lex Luthor. That nigga was funny as hell. But it was just like,
and then we'll get to that.
I just really I just haven't seen a movie that felt super exaggerated with like how the characters acted,
Kind of cartoony.
that like wasn't cringy. Like I really enjoyed the fact that I didn't find it cringy. Like the humor was hitting every time, and it just wasn't overdone.
Let's break it down, right? Because I want to, I'll justify my rating, right? So I think 8 out of 10 is amazing, by the way. That's like really good.
I mean, no, that's
I'm just a harsher
generous.
critic.
That's generous for you. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's basically an 11.
So just to kind of like off rip, I would say so let's just start with the characters. Like the characters themselves, I think were so well done. Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl.
He may have been the best character in the movie.
He was hilarious. Green Lantern, I love Guy. He was so like he was perfect because it was just like I agree with you. They didn't really push it to the point where it was cringy. It was just like it just seemed like these guys are just weird ass people in real life.
And it was very like quick humor. Like it wasn't dragged on. Like for example, when they called themselves like the Justice Gang, and then like the dude who could turn to the elements at the end of the movie when he was like joining in, and they had that piece of dialogue where he was like, where Green Lantern was basically like calling that nigga ugly, and then he like complimented the name, so he was like, all right, you're in. Like it was just like very quick, but it was
subtle.
It was very quick humor, but I really enjoyed it, and like I found myself chuckling a couple times. It was good. I didn't like Green Lantern at first though.
You didn't like him at first?
I didn't like him at first, but then the second half he really grew on me, and I started to like him a lot.
I mean, to be honest with you, I just feel like the interactions like between those characters were just it felt natural. Like it felt very grounded in the way they were actually. Well, they had good actors to begin with, but it just didn't feel cringy to me. Like normally, I'm so used to watching superhero movies that are just cringy. Like this, like the latest, flush of just all these Marvel movies coming out. A lot of them, there's a lot of cringy moments. This one, I felt like there was a lack of that. I think too, when you look at Superman and Lois, right? I love their interactions together. I actually like how they went 3 months into the relationship. They were already 3 months in.
You're saying how they were already established?
Yeah, they were already established. I like how they just skipped a lot of stuff like that because we already know the origin. There's no reason to sit back do another origin.
Straight into it because I remember I was sitting there, like getting ready to order my food, and then the movie started. Like, and I was like, damn, like we'd even because usually with Marvel, like there's the Marvel preview, and then it's like
slow build up,
but he just like dropped out the sky, and then we started, and I liked how they got straight to it.
What I find weird too is like because again I'm just so used to like Marvel being kind of slow with it. Like with this one, it was like immediately he was already like obviously spoilers alert. He was already bleeding out in the snow, like struggling. I'm like, wait, did we just get to the end of the movie that quick? Like how did that happen?
It was quick,
and it wasn't like foreshadowing anything. It was just like or predicting the future. It was literally just like it's like a normal day for him. He lost against a guy. He's coming back to beat him. Which, again, going back to Lois and him, the early conversations they had together, I just feel like the actor who plays Superman, what was his name? I don't know his name.
I want to say it's David or Daniel something.
Dude, I hate. Dude, he's so good looking. Like what the fuck? He
hot
fits
ass
that
dude.
role perfectly to a T.
He's funny though.
He's
too.
so funny,
He's funny.
and I think the way he like commanded that role, even with his like subtle voice changes, like you could see that early on when they had an argument.
That's
That
one
was
thing
very good
like when he
performance
got
by him.
when he got mad at the tweets.
Oh yeah,
and
hashtag shit Superman or Superman shit.
And he was like, you know that I hate it when you call me that, or something like that. It was very
human. It was felt very human.
It was very human, but like very. It sounded like a kid throwing a temper tantrum, but it was like in a funny way.
But funny enough, that's like how grown ass adults be acting sometimes. Like, and we fall into that category. You know, like we've acted like that. That's honestly, I think in terms of relatability, they really did a good job of making him relatable. Because I think for Superman at least, I've seen a lot of shows, not read the comics. I've seen a lot of animated shows, a lot of the shows with Superman. He's very like serious, and he's very like, you know, he can be human sometimes, but sometimes you forget that he was raised by farmers. Mm-hmm. And I think the way he touched on this character in this movie, it really, I think he nailed him, bro. He nailed him perfectly. He had that dynamic between him being serious and his priority to always save people, which Lois questioned early on, which I think that was like, I just didn't know the extent of it, of how Superman just wants to save everybody. I think it was super exemplified in this specifically. Because I don't think there was any casualties in the first few fights.
His motivations are clear, and it's like he really just seems like a regular ass human who just got superpowers one day, and then he just like wants to do good. And
it doesn't even feel like
I
he's
know
an
that's
alien.
not what it is, but like that's how it felt.
Yeah, so he was 100%. I think he played the role perfectly. I think Lois was really good in how she was kind of like in support of him, but then also she's a reporter. She has to question him.
Yeah.
And so like you could tell that she knows his heart's in the right place, but you can't always be right, even if you think you're following your heart.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and that's kind of like the dilemma in this movie, at least. I think it was funny. The humor, I think, is better than anything Marvel has put out in a minute. Like in terms of how they handle humor, I think humor was 10 times better in this movie. I think it was because the humor didn't feel like a flat joke. It just felt like personable conversations with these people. Like this guy's just crazy. That's why he's like
That's the difference. Like I feel like at least in a lot of the Marvel movies, like the characters are a certain way and they try to incorporate jokes
with the characters to fit the style.
With characters that may not be jokey, like that just may not be their personality. But like with Lex, for example, that nigga's just a whack job. And he's just crazy. So then like he's not even telling jokes. He's just an over exaggerated goofy ass like when he was getting upset that Superman escaped the prison realm or wherever he was at, like, and he knocked the cup off the table and he threw the pencil at the girl and then knocked the cup off the table again. It's like it's so over the top, and that's what makes it funny. As I said, he's not telling, the dude is like angry, but it's funny. That shit was funny.
Yeah, I want to talk about Lex Luthor next. The casting for him was surprising because actually I heard that he wanted to be Superman. He auditioned for Superman, but then they gave him Lex Luthor instead. And I think he was a perfect Lex Luthor.
He was great,
dude.
He was great.
Again, it goes back to like they're being comedic through the personalities of these characters, and again, the actors do a good job with them. Like when you look at like Lex Luthor, the funniest part with him was like at the end. And I'll talk more into depth about him right now, but like at the end with Lex Luthor, when he was like. When he was commanding the other Superman variant to attack him,
and he was like giving his soliloquy and just like screaming.
He was giving
that
was
hard. Tough though.
He gave his like full, like he just described everything he was doing, and then afterwards he's like, and now you're done. AC. He just kept saying like code name because that's how he would control Superman. He just like say random numbers and codes to like make him do a certain thing, and he's just screaming. He's like his veins are popping out. It's like, dude, this is exactly what we needed, dude. It
was good.
I haven't had a good refresher of a Superman movie or like a superhero movie in general in a minute. And I think like Lex Luthor, the castings were phenomenal. Guy was funny. Even the Crystal guy had such like a minimal, he had like a small presence.
Crystal guy was funny, and also Jimmy was funny as hell too.
Jimmy was funny, yes.
Yeah. He was reminding me of a certain I'm not going to get into my lore, but he was reminding me of a specific person in my.
For real?
Yeah, but no. Okay, but he was funny, like the way he was like going behind, I guess, Lex's back, like talking to his girl. And then like he was like, he didn't like her like at all. And he was like damn near scared of her. But then at the end, you see him kind of like accept her almost. But it was just like funny seeing them interact because it's just like he didn't want anything to do with her. He just wanted the information out of her. And she was so like infatuated with that nigga.
We need characters like Jimmy in these movies, bro, because like they're not. You can sit here and be like they're not super important, but
like
they
he
just add
was
that
like the
element.
most important character in that movie, damn near.
Well, yeah,
With
he
the
played a pivotal role.
Yeah, with the information he was able to
Played a pivotal role, and like just his mannerisms and how he approached getting the info from the girl. And at the end too, like she like jumps into his arms and he's like, fuck it, let's just try again. Like he was like, let's just try the relationship again, see what happens. It's like it to me just seems like what a real dude would do in real life after having gone through all this with a bad girl and then coming back and being like,
Well, it wasn't even
let's
like
go this trauma again.
It wasn't even like she was. I don't think she was like bad to him. She just like came off as kind of cuckoo.
Crazy, kind of crazy, cuckoo, social media star.
So, but it's like she loved the dude though. Like she was ride or die for him. So, at least that's how it was presented. So that was a funny little thing.
That was great. And again, characters were phenomenal. The castings were great. I also think too the villains. So they had a lot of fights. That was kind of crazy to me too. They had like 3-4 major fights, right?
There's the one at the beginning.
The rush that they had, like you had that foreign Iron Man variant motherfucker, like who was fighting him, who was made by Lex Luthor.
Talking about the beginning?
Yeah, the beginning. Yeah,
That was the same dude he fought at the end.
yeah. No, but what I'm saying is it was portrayed as like a foreign Iron Man or whatever. He was basically like fighting him. That was like I didn't expect that off the gate, bro. They were just going right into it.
Yeah.
And then you had the alien monster right after. That was a cool little thing as well. You can also see how even like this version of Superman is like so overly protective of everything. You can just tell he's sitting there like, oh, we gotta save this monster. Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Don't
with
kill
like
it.
the squirrel.
And he doesn't even care if it does more damage because he'll just stop people from getting hurt. But it's like but how can you have that mentality though? I feel like that's the beauty of this film. They really show the flaws in Superman. And it's just like you can't save everybody. And sometimes if you try to do that all the time, you end up hurting someone in the process.
Yeah, no, and I was getting this when I was watching it. I could see a lot of the influence from Superman into like Invincible, like with the Guardians and like how Omni-Man is like, and like how he came from like the distant planet and he was like supposed to take over, but he like didn't at first. And so I saw a lot of influence from that. That's what I was thinking when I was watching it. But that was just like a little side tidbit.
The fights were peak, by the way.
They had really good fights.
The fights were not just like the monsters they were fighting, but also
just the action sequences.
The action sequences. Yeah. Also, I think they did an amazing job with the flying. It was kind of goofy at first when I was watching it. I was like, this is kind of weird. But then
I thought it was good.
But then like I was like, it was slowly growing on me. And I was like, I actually like this perspective because they would zoom in on his face as he was like flying through the stuff. And they did an amazing job, actually. Like making flying sequences entertaining is like a whole new thing to me. Because I usually see people just fly away and that's it. But they somehow put it off of him, which was great.
And and coming into this, I was somewhat of a Superman hater. I'd say like I never really understood the appeal to his character specifically. Like I'm more so like lean towards Batman just because I like the darker Gotham shit that he had going on. But I'd say after this movie, I'm definitely more of a fan.
I do have a whole new perspective of Superman as well because it's not like I was super into that. I'm probably more into Marvel, but I've seen a lot of the movies, the shows, and my thing is
I just always thought he was corny.
I always thought he was just too
coming up.
I didn't like him because of the thought that he's just so broken. I think a part of me still feels that way. But at the same time, it's like I kind of realized watching this, the way they portrayed him in this film, I'm completely just wrong about Superman.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think the way they approached him was, he's this guy that's ridiculously strong, but he's fighting to protect people. So he can't even go all out realistically. Because if he does, like for instance, right? Like a scene that you remember was when they took his dog. He goes to confront Lex Luthor about it.
That was a funny scene.
That was crazy. Yeah. He goes to confront Lex Luthor about it, right? He could realistically torture Lex Luthor. He could kill everyone in that building. He even takes the desk. He takes his desk and then throws it.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I thought about it too. I'm like, when he threw it and it like didn't break the window, I was like, I think he definitely could have broke the window if he wanted to, but I think a part of him was like, if he does that, it might fall into somebody.
Yeah, no, he could have obliterated that nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
He just chose not. He didn't even like break his mug or nothing. He just looked him in his face, asked him where the dog was. Lex was playing dumb, and he was just like, I don't even know what a dog is, and he just turned himself into the police. Like, I really liked seeing those elements of his character that I just never really was introduced to like that. I guess I just always figured he was, I guess how he was portrayed in like Man of Steel people were saying this. I don't really remember that movie.
He was
that
more
much.
serious, I think.
He was more serious, and he like didn't care about the destruction that went on around him. He kind of just aura farmed like that whole movie. That's what niggas were saying.
Okay, I see.
So that's like I had that idea of him in like the little tidbits I've seen from like the cartoons here and there. It's like I don't really have a deep understanding of how his character was supposed to be.
And thinking of all the portrayals of him in the movies, live action, I would say this guy nailed it. And I think the writing
absolutely.
was. I think they nailed it. They won
Perfect.
it, bro.
It was perfect casting for sure.
It was perfect casting, but I just think again, I have such a different appreciation for Superman now that now I can look past the fact that he's so broken because that also in turn is a bad thing for him.
But even in this,
he knows he can hurt people.
Even in this movie, he didn't seem broken. He felt like
he definitely was holding back sometimes, but he felt. But remember, the threats were like you had Kryptonite. You had
himself,
his variant that Lex Luthor made. Lex Luthor could he's a good villain because he like his whole thing was he hates him. He wants to kill him. So he has years of research trying to figure out how to kill this guy.
Yeah, he's just a D1 hater.
So it's like that's what I'm saying. He's broken, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have weaknesses.
Well, yeah, he's like. Are you talking about it's Superman? You're talking about
Superman, yeah.
Yeah.
Superman.
But even the nanobot girl too, she was kind of busted.
She was piecing him, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like they can't. But again, that's what I'm saying. I have a new perspective now of it. It's like he is broken, but that doesn't mean he's invincible. I think that's how I kept viewing it. It's kind of like I agree with you. It kind of goes back to the cartoon of Invincible from Amazon Prime. Like Mark to me is like the strongest guy in the universe potentially one day, but he's not really invincible.
But he holds title card. But he holds himself back, and it's like he cares about the others around because we've seen him like when he pops off,
he go crazy. He pulls out that anger. Yeah,
mushed Angstrom's head into nothingness, and like but like he's always thinking about his surroundings, thinking about the others around him, and it's like it's very comparable.
I think that's probably why I liked it because it's tough when you juggle characters that are so insanely broken. Like I know like with Thunderbolts, which we'll get to Thunderbolts in a second because I want to talk about Fantastic and how that kind of plays into it. Maybe the guy from Thunderbolts, who was he? The Superman variant, basically.
Sentry, you're talking about?
Sentry. Like with Sentry, I also like it's hard to introduce a character and then not show. If we introduce a broken character, it's cool, but you have to ground him in some way so that people don't just like, oh, he shows up, we lost.
Well,
already.
he was grounded though,
and he was grounded.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. He was grounded also in a similar way where he's like super depressed, he's anxious, he's got like mental issues.
he's just like human.
He was very human, so it's like if you are able to bring a character like that, a powerful character, and then ground him in that way, you can still make them. It could still be a good experience for everybody, and not feel like he's so broken he just takes on the whole world and that's it. He wins. But again, they did a great job with Superman there, bro. And then to go into like the story, I did find it a bit weird though. The story, like the plot, I guess, which was basically like Lex tries to expose him, and Lex just reveals the message hidden in his lair.
Well,
which is like
the story was Lex was just trying to take that nigga down.
Yeah.
Like in every, not even just physically, like emotionally, like in every element he could, he was just trying to like ruin him.
Yeah, no, I agree. But what I'm saying is like I found it weird because when he was again, my whole thing was like he exposed him, he aired the message online that apparently he was sent here to repopulate and to become a dictator and control all these people, squash anyone that goes against him. And then like how easily people would turn on him within like seconds. That to me was like crazy. Like that to me was weird. I was like, wait, there's no way you guys. I'm confused here. We're just gonna negate everything he's done.
Because is Lex was a trusted.
He seemed to be trusted, yes, but so was Superman.
I don't know if he was a political figure, but he was a trusted elite in that world. And it's just like, I don't know. But I mean, if I'm in their shoes, like, and he just got exposed, like, I wouldn't be throwing coffee mugs at him, nigga. Because it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
If he's as evil as he's being portrayed to be, then he's about to blow this bitch up right now. Like, I don't know. That was silly, but
I also agree.
I think that's the comic appeal to it, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand for the plot purposes, it kind of fit into the story there, but it just didn't make it like because like literally he just saved everybody. No one died during the monster fight, and then people were just watching on their phones the message, and then like you see a girl in the background like, oh my god, like she's like crying.
It was the way Lex was like telling everyone though. Like he was just like he was saying that Superman was like, I think he used the word groping. He was trying to like coddle them. It was the verbiage he was using that I feel like made that scene a lot less serious than it like I don't remember where I was going,
Bro,
but no, it was interesting.
I just felt like it was was like
Yeah,
how
it
people
was-
just
it
turn
was-
on that
it was
quick.
definitely, yeah.
But again, I understand how it's a bit cartoony, the whole thing. So I'm not gonna shit on them for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Terrific, dude, I won't lie. Some people stole the show during certain sequences. Mr. Terrific, when he was pulling up with Lois to find
Yeah, that
Superman.
was a great scene. Great
Yo,
scene.
dude, when he pulled up to that beach and the music just started playing,
Good
he
music.
just started like, no, that music was woo!
But it was the way he was fighting with the orbs too. That shit was
clean.
That shit was tough.
And
Yeah.
I just feel like the soundtrack guy, dude, we don't give enough like credit to the soundtrack people, bro. Because
That
I
was
mean,
really
we
good.
do because we watch anime and we know how hard them hits. This is like crazy because the soundtrack was perfect for all the individual characters whenever they had to perform. He was sick though. Mr. Terrific was sick.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was also funny. Like I feel like every character there, the reason they're funny is just because like they're all different from the norm, basically. Because they're all weird.
They're all
like
yeah,
weird,
and
different. Like they're just
that's what
that's the
makes
type
them
of variety
more-
you need.
That's what makes them human too.
Exactly.
Degree.
That's
Like
what makes
even
them
though
human.
even though it's very exaggerated at times how some of them act, but the thing is like it's also not because there are niggas who act like that.
Yeah,
you know? So it's just-
exactly. That's what I was saying. That's why it goes back to Superman, bro. Like the way he was acting sometimes, kind of like childish. It's like I feel like we all do that at a certain point. Or like I've seen characters like that, people like him in real life that do that. So I think that's why
it's like the way Lois talked to him too. Like it seemed like a very
like
genuine
a true relationship.
Yeah.
Like I love you, but we gotta talk about these things. We can't get past this.
And it's
unless
like
we
when he
talk
said
about
"I
it.
love you" to her too, and like she didn't say it back.
Like,
and,
yeah,
and then she
dude.
said at the end, and it was just
No,
like,
when she hit him with the I won't lie, you know what got me, bro? Like I swear to God, bro. Like when she was like, "This is why I told you, like I don't do dating." Or like she said something like that. Like when she was in the kitchen, like I'm not good with dating. Like I was
Yeah.
like, damn, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And even
and
for him, he looked
was,
hurt.
and he was like, "All right," and they just walked out. But that's like how it is.
But it's like that's how it
Yeah,
is for a
yeah.
dude's like, all right. And then he's gonna go
It's just
home.
like what can he do?
He's gonna
Yeah.
sit down. He won't sleep for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna be like, "What do you mean by that?" Like, and then you just start.
And he was thinking, and he brought that back up to her.
He brought that back
when they
up to
were.
her.
Oh, what was also funny too was seeing John Cena's dude on the TV.
Oh, that was
That was
funny
a
as
funny
hell.
cameo. Yeah.
Also, the way they touched that. So without obviously with them skipping the origin story, they still touched base with it. They went back to his like he was injured. Lois took him back to his family in the
Oh yeah, there's
the
like
ranch
a
or whatever.
small little flashback scene.
smaller, yeah. And then just seeing the family there and the father talking. I think people could argue maybe the pacing was really fast, but not really. I think it was like fast.
There's
but
nothing.
then they,
I
but
don't
they
feel
kept
like.
their.
I don't
they-
feel like there's much you have to show though.
That's
like
what I'm
I
saying.
feel like you could-
Exactly.
like if you have semi decent media literacy, like you could
Connect the dots.
understand, connect the dots and understand like what's going on and like why this is happening with his birth parents, why this is happening with his earth parents.
I agree. And honestly, even with his like, for instance, like his dad, like those scenes, like I could see why people are like, oh, it's just too fast paced. They're going all these things. Like they're doing all these different things. But when they move scene to scene, you could tell like the time spent on that scene is very slow. Like it's very they flesh it out. That's why like the whole flashback with his family being there with them and talking with them, and then just being grounded again as like a human being. Like him saying to his dad, like I thought all this time that I was here for one purpose. And then his dad was like, telling him that it's not about
really
just-
good scene.
Yeah,
That was
like it's
really
not
good
just
scene.
about like, oh, you came here with a purpose. It's like you have to discover that yourself. And it seems like you already have. And it's like that's like those little things are what really adds to that like the theme of the film.
That may have been what you just said. The dad was saying something about he wouldn't dictate his son's character, like his son would show that to him and like he would accept it. Something like that. And it was just a very wholesome
And what
scene.
also again, like the time spent, even though it's fast paced, the time spent in these scenes it was really well done.
It was very meaningful,
Yeah.
and it's like there wasn't, even though it was short and fast, like it didn't feel like anything was looked over.
I agree. It was phenomenal. And frankly, you know what's funny though? There's a few other things I want to talk about, like the Rock guy. What was his name?
You said the who?
The Rock guy, the Crystal guy.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. But
remember
like
his name.
basically when Superman was taken to the alternate dimension, the pocket dimension, or the pocket universe, he was being like held there against his will. You had the Rock guy who could like transform into any mineral. He transformed into kryptonite to like hurt
Kind of
him.
busted.
Yeah, he was busted. Having him in the story, I think it's just like that's what I'm saying. They add characters that you might not say are like super important, but they just add that extra layer of just like diversity in a group. Like it makes it so much more entertaining because he was funny, but also, well, low-key, he was dating a bad bitch though. He was dating like a blondie. You saw that?
I think I remember seeing it
Yeah,
briefly.
I was like,
but
damn, like,
think
how
I
that
remember,
work
I
though?
think I remember seeing
Like, you
it
mean out
briefly.
rocks and minerals? Like, what else
mean,
you
he could-
what
he
you
could-
working with down there? Like,
Turn
how
his
that make
shit- he could
sense?
Turn his shit to whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, shit. But yeah, he was good. He was a little added little part there. I also think Crypto was cool too to have Crypto the dog.
Really like Crypto.
He was sick to
Supergirl.
have.
Supergirl at the end too.
Yeah,
She
you also had
popped
Supergirl
up.
who was revealed at the end, which I assume she'll be in the next movie.
I think she's getting her own movie.
Oh, that would be cool.
Pretty sure
I'd love
she's
to see
getting her own
Supergirl.
movie.
She seemed, I won't lie to you, she seemed like one of my drunk friends. Like, I
She was
won't lie.
very all over the place.
I'm really liking this version, bro, because it just feels so human, man. Like looking at Supergirl come in, I'm thinking she's gonna, because again, every iteration I've seen is like Superman is super serious along with Supergirl, but then I'm seeing Supergirl come in and she's like looking like high as hell, like damn, what mushrooms were you doing, bro? Like, and you could just tell, like it was really well done, bro. I love what they did with the characters. And then you know what's crazy to me too is that before this movie came out and also during the premiere, you know how people were saying like they made this political. They were saying like, oh,
Yeah. Which is like
people were like, Republicans were saying like, oh, he's like an alien coming into the country, and
because it's
basically
I think
illegal.
I think it was because they were also having a Middle East conflict in the movie.
yeah, it could be also something
Which
like
is
that as well.
I guess, but like that's happened in many other. That literally happened in like Iron Man.
It did.
Like, that's happened in many other movies. So I think they're stretching it a little bit, but who knows?
I think it was just
Who knows
dumb
what-
to even say shit like that because it's the fact that people take. To me, this movie was not political, not even one bit. Frankly, the only part you could argue was political.
There were politics.
Yeah,
but
there was
like,
politics in the universe, in
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
The only thing you can maybe argue that was political, which was completely thrown out the window, was at the end when he got to Lex Luthor and he beat him already, and he's telling him like, "I'm just like you, like I'm from a different place, but I think like you, I stress like you." It's like he had his own little monologue, Superman, for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking to yourself, and I'm sure like if you're like a seething political guy who's on either side, and you're like, oh my God, he's getting political now. This is great. But then like 5 seconds later, like Lex is like, fuck you. And he just immediately started shitting on him.
I don't even. Yeah,
That's what I mean. It's
but I
like
don't even
this
think
is
that
they
was-
handle it so well.
I don't even think it was handled well. It definitely was handled well, but I don't even think that was political. I think that was just like supposed to be inspirational to the viewer and just like
Well, no, but what I'm saying is they're gonna make it political, and they
Yeah.
do a good job at showing that this is politics in this universe. Maybe it could apply to real life, but then Lex Luthor comes in as a guy who would apply to real life and be like, "Screw you, you're still crazy, blah blah, you're an alien."
yeah, I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
I just think like overall they touched everything the way they should have touched it. I think the characters were amazing, the action was sick, the music was on par with honestly amazing anime OSTs that we always listen to, and even with the core story, it wasn't the craziest plot, but I don't think. I think the goal for this is just to establish the universe.
Yeah, very easy to follow.
Yeah, it was very easy to follow. It was just to solely establish the universe, and maybe they get a bit more serious along the way, and that would be cool now. But now you have a baseline. Now you have
Yeah.
now you know exactly where to start. And I think honestly, I cannot see DC fumbling this bag because ever since, what was his name? The guy who took over DC. You know what I'm talking about?
Talking about Gunn?
Yeah, James
Oh,
Gunn.
I thought he was just the director of the movie.
Well, yeah, he's like the head of the DC or
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
So like ever since James Gunn came into play, bro, he's been coming out.
Didn't he work for Marvel? Or
I
am
don't know.
tweaking?
Actually, I have no idea. Maybe he did at one point, but I could just tell his direction. Maybe you don't like it or not, and it sucks that we lost Henry Cavill because I think Henry Cavill was a good Superman. I just think that his direction right now, based on the DC shows, the movies coming out, like the new Batman movie coming out, as well as this one that just came out.
I didn't know the Batman movie wasn't connected to this.
No, it's separate because I think what they want to do is they want to have like separate universes because that way it won't confuse everybody. Like, because like some
I
things
feel
will
like
happen in
that's
this.
more, I feel like that's more confusing.
No, I don't think so. No,
If
because
they
I think
introduce a Batman into this now established Superman universe, if that's like the main DCU timeline or whatever, I feel like that makes it a bit more complicated.
The reason I actually agree with James Gunn here, honestly, and like separating the universes, is because it's like so there's certain timelines through the comics, from what I know, that just don't mesh well with each other, and maybe they want to explore a certain timeline or a certain iteration of a comic for Batman that they feel like would do really well in theaters, but it doesn't mesh well with the direction of like Superman, where they want to go down a different comic timeline where it would do really well to express him in a different light. So it's like, I think it's better this way as opposed to like Marvel, which is like, let's fit everyone into one universe. Let's kill off every major villain, every world-ending villain, even though these world-ending villains are supposed to stick around after because they're never, not all of them are always killed or beat every time.
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense to go with something like DC here, where they separate universes from time to time. But I'm sure they're going to have I'm sure they're gonna have like a Justice League. I'm sure that's gonna be in the Superman universe. I'm sure they're gonna have movies that connect to each
I
other.
think I saw people saying they would do like a Cavill Batman, Henry Cavill Batman.
Yeah, they might do one. They might do They might do one. I think the iteration of Batman right now, though,
I like
Robert
him.
Pattinson is really good.
I really like him. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The shows are connected to the DC Batman film, so like that was really cool watching. I don't know if you saw the Penguin. Did you watch it?
No.
You're missing out.
I
I think you should watch that before you watch the new
really
Batman movie.
Is the Penguin post Batman, or is it pre?
I don't know what's post or pre, but I'm pretty sure it's like in the universe of Batman.
I'll
it shows
look
the
up.
origin story of the Penguin.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that not confusing?
No, it's not.
What about the Penguin of now this new universe?
No, because you have to remember they're keeping it separate. So the Batman story, if you think about it, it just seems like if they want to separate the heroes, they can. But Batman is going to be in a separate universe. Who else would they do for DC as a separate universe? I don't think they would do Wonder Woman in a separate universe. I think Wonder Woman would still be in the same universe as Superman.
There's Aquaman too.
Which I don't think they're going to do Aquaman. I think they're going to probably do like I don't know who would get their own
Flash.
movie.
Flash.
The Flash would be a good one.
Yeah.
So like they do the Flash. Maybe you have the Flash, Wonder Woman, all these characters in that, and they want to keep Robert Pattinson separate from that because
You're saying that iteration of Batman.
Yes, maybe they just want to keep that iteration of Batman separate, and then they'll have a different Batman, or maybe Robert Pattinson comes in. But I don't know. But they do whatever they want. I just think that right now, how they have it laid out is really well done. Versus like Marvel, which is like a mesh of like 10,000 people in one universe, and ever since they introduced the multiverse, now you have all these multiverses.
I don't know, for the casual viewer, I feel like the Marvel shit's like it's great.
Well, I mean, I think the DC right now, what they're trying to do is easier to be like, it's less confusing.
It's easier to
you have
process
less
because you don't have all
universes
the
meshing.
shows. I think you don't have all the shows that like Marvel is kind of pushing down your throat. Where like if you go from one movie to the next movie, you don't know what's going on because certain characters happen.
That's a good point too. I think that's why Marvel just has a hard time because they're just not able to really push out.
But I think they said they want to stop going like the excessive show route and start, especially after this quote unquote soft reset that's going to be happening after Secret Wars. Like I think they're going to focus a lot more on developing characters throughout the movies and like have like a show or two here, but like not 8 shows in between.
Exactly.
2 of the main movies.
It doesn't make sense to do that every time. It's just stupid. But overall, I would say to wrap things up here, I would say the Superman, I would say my rating for it, I think an 8 out of 10
Well,
is
if you're giving that,
very solid.
if you're giving that an 8, then you're probably getting 4, like a 7. Then I'd have to assume Fantastic Four.
Talking about Superman here specifically, my rating is an 8. I just think that if you look at everything in totality, the way they portray Superman, the way the characters mesh well together, interact with each other, the comedy being kind of exemplified through the personalities of the characters as opposed to making some corny ass jokes here and there. There were maybe like 1 or 2, but they did land. I didn't have a problem with any of them. And then the music, the plot was good enough to track and it wasn't so overly complicated. And having them just already establish the universe as Superman is present right now and he is a superhero and he's already dating Lois. I think the pacing, everything in totality was a phenomenal movie. I'm gonna say it was like a solid 8 out of 10.
9.5.
Maybe like in your book you would put 9. You put 9.5. Yeah, I think it's justified because I have a lower rating than you typically.
I damn near give it a 10 because the way I view shit, like if I enjoy it front to back and I don't have an issue, I don't see why I wouldn't give it a 10.
Yeah, but 10 is like, dude, 10 is like the. Like I'm holding a gun to your head, like we're watching the movie tomorrow. Like I don't get that with this.
Because like
but again, I give a lower rating than you usually.
This is the way like for what they were trying to do, right? It's like not the best. Like if I were to give it a 10, it's not the best movie we've ever seen, but within its respective realm and within the category of superhero movie and what it's trying to do for a Superman film, it's like it did it perfectly. So then therefore it'd be a 10. That's kind of how I see it. If that makes sense.
Maybe like a DC guy who like really loves DC, reads all the comics, maybe he would rate this a little bit higher. But regardless, I would say for me, an 8 out of 10 still, that's like super high for me.
Yeah, that's good for you.
That's definitely worth the money for sure.
You go to the theater for that one.
Yeah, definitely go to the theater for that one. Oh, 100%. If it's an 8 out of 10, you should go to the theater. Next up, really, Fantastic Four, baby. How about you start this one? Because I started Superman, and you're more passionate about Marvel movies right now. So
where do you want me to start? Like
let's start.
with my rating?
Let's start with the rating, and then we'll talk about it.
I don't think you want to hear my rating.
What's that mean?
9 out of 10.
You're joking. No, you're actually
I'm not joking.
Right?
Listen, similarly to Superman, this one comparing it to other Marvel movies that we've seen, this one also felt very comic booky, and like the humor with characters, especially like with the Thing, Johnny Storm, loved the way they interacted, and they just their humor alone was like top tier in the movie. But like the way all four of them interacted as like a family and how that was such an integral part of the movie, not even just for them, but like for humanity in general, when obviously folks were getting mad that she was keeping her child alive. And then she was expressing the fact that like, what'd she say? She said, I won't sacrifice my child for this world, but I'm not going to sacrifice this world for my child because we're all a family, like on Earth. It's just like elements like that I really enjoyed. And I loved the Silver Surfer plot. Loved the Silver Surfer in general. She was like sick. And the way Johnny interacted with her and how he was going on his little side quest to kind of figure out what she was about, seeing her backstory. Like, I knew from the jump when she first dropped down and he had that first interaction with her, like, I kind of figured it would go the way it went at the end. So it's like I wasn't surprised or disappointed by that. But then, I don't know, just seeing just everything about the movie just like was great to me. And it was some of the best action sequences I feel like we've seen in a minute, like visually in the MCU, like when they were traveling through space and then Silver Surfer was warping through shit, and like there was the space dilation, I think that's what it's called, when like niggas were getting stretchy. It was just, I know I'm yapping about it, but like it was good. I just really enjoyed it.
I mean, I feel like we gotta start from at the beginning because my rating is definitely, it's not like low, but it's definitely not like a 9. I think like I personally like Superman more than Fantastic Four, but there's a few things like I want to touch on. So like the characters themselves, right? I think the casting was great. They had the four main members, like Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn. The other guy was Ebon Moss, something like that. Mm-hmm. Ebon Moss, like all these characters just played the Thing, Sue, Johnny. They played Reed, like he played Reed Richards so well. Pedro, like that. I won't lie, the actors really did a good job.
Cutting you off, sorry. I do think the Thing in his screen time, he could have gotten a little bit more because I heard a little bit was cut from the trailers. I think he could have gotten a bit more screen time, and I think. I don't remember what part it was. I want to say it was like 40 or so minutes. It felt like there was very fast pacing going on at like one point in the movie where it was not necessarily hard to keep up. And I didn't not know what was going on, but it just felt like we jumped from one point to this point really quickly. And then it's like, okay, now we're like doing this grand thing, which is like, I think that's why I kind of deducted that point off. But other than that, like everything else was great to me.
Okay, I mean, we want to like section this off here. So like with characters specifically, I agree with you. Characters overall, though, I think the actors were phenomenal who played the roles. Again, compared to the past Fantastic Four movies, it was very familial. They're like it was very like a lot more familial connection being established.
More than what I remember from the other ones.
Yeah, more friendly banter, more. And I enjoyed it. I love the interaction between Johnny and the Thing. Like, I think that those are really great small interactions that kind of give you hints of their personality.
And every character of the four had their own individual moments with each other. Like Sue had her alone time with Reed, and then had her alone time with Johnny and Thing, and then like vice versa. Like for everyone, like
they were very comfortable with each other. They were like always in each other's space. You could just tell like they might not like they might not all be of the same blood, but they feel like they all come from the same cloth.
Yeah,
and it's like overall, I think the characters were really well done. The personalities were, I think Pedro Pascal played Reed Richards like really. I was surprised by his performance actually because I like Pedro Pascal. He's a great actor, but Reed, like I thought he was gonna like make him a bit funnier, I guess, like more joke. But like no, I think he did him perfectly. He was very calm, intelligent, and very like just
Reed,
always on.
Yeah, I think Reed's a very
on edge,
and very like specific
guy,
articulate dude who's just like always trying to
come up with something.
Yeah, so I think he played him pretty well for what I know of Reed, at least.
So, and it was cool being able to see like a different time period, and like obviously because like they're going down like a different comic book timeline for that one, because it was like it was a weird mix of they were in the past but also in the future because they had like flying cars, but then like the buildings would look so old.
I really liked that the retro. It was like a retro. It was sort of like the Jetsons.
Yes, it was like a retro futuristic. Alternate universe.
I really liked that, yeah.
It was cool. It was also just cool to have already established villains too. So it's like, oh, we've already dealt with these guys. But again, before I touch on pacing, the main point of the story, the plot was basically Sue has like an unexpected pregnancy, and then you have out of nowhere this like obviously the main villain being Galactus,
Who is gonna eat their planet?
who's going to eat their planet in X amount of days. The Silver Surfer, who's a woman, comes and basically informs them that they're going to be destroyed soon. And then they go to negotiate with the with Galactus. They end up not being able to negotiate, and it turns out that he wants their son so that their son can take over his position, so that he could be free of this
the Elden Throne.
Yeah, basically. And apparently the son is like, you know, superhuman or whatever the fuck.
Well, he's like a cosmic
guy,
entity type of
thing. And then ultimately, like, they decide not to give up their child, and now they have to figure out a way to stop Galactus from eating their planet. So that's kind of like the main focus of the film, the main plot. I do think, and I agree with you on this, the pacing of it, that dropped me down a rating as well. I just felt like it was cool, but it was just all over the place. Like, they were jumping from left to right.
I feel like it should have been like a 2 hour, 30-minute.
Yeah, I feel like if they took more time to like maybe like again, like going back to Superman, I like how they were a bit fast paced, but they would take time in those specific scenes for X period of time. Like it felt like there was less fast paced scenes. Like the pacing was faster, but they had less scenes overall to really take their time with.
Superman also wasn't as grand as like what's going on in Fantastic Four.
Well, I think Fantastic Four they were trying to emphasize that.
Yeah, but I feel like Superman had the luxury of like where even if it was fast paced, it's like we're within the confines of like our city. Like it's not like we don't really have to.
It's like Galactus.
It's not that big of a deal if we're like if we're moving that fast. But like we're dealing with Silver Surfer, her plot, Galactus. We already have like the established MCU like in the back of our mind.
And then you also have the other villains too that are all coming in and out of nowhere that they did like a montage of.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like comparing them both here, they both were fast paced, but I just think that Superman had less fast paced scene. Like their fast paced scenes that they took more time with in the scene as opposed to transitioning over. In Fantastic Four, they shot us with one scene, went to a different montage, went from here to here. They're having dinner. Next scene is here. Silver Surfer's here. It was definitely a lot quicker, and there wasn't really enough time to like digest everything for sure. Sometimes
it wasn't the whole time. Though. It was just some points.
Yeah, it was mainly the beginning part and some parts in the middle, but the end was pretty straightforward. It was just figure out a way to like not die. Overall, I wouldn't say it like made it horrible. I think it just again was a bit fast paced.
You just had to be paying attention. Yeah.
The plot wasn't like it's not overly complex because it really is just the Silver Surfer and then Galactus, and they're trying to stop Galactus from eating the planet. Because all the montages before that of all the other villains, they already established those as them beating them or negotiating with them.
And side note, I didn't know how much inspiration Incredibles took from Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because that's like the same villain.
The mole guy.
Dude. Yeah,
I love the mole guy. He's hilarious.
Never knew that.
Overall, I would say they did a good job of establishing the universe and honestly, the short period of time they actually, had to do so in the movie. I think overall, so that was the pacing. The plot was good enough to, keep up with. Characters were sick.
I really like the suits.
The suits also, I like the retro suits.
Those are the best suits out of the iterations. Those were really nice.
It being a different universe, I like how they're not taking... Well, in that universe, I feel like they don't take things as seriously. It's a bit goofy because it's like a retro futuristic universe, which is totally fine. I like that approach with these movies, honestly, because it's like I go into a Marvel movie already knowing it's kind of goofy, but like if it can be done in a serious manner, that's great. But it's nice to see the switch up to something more.
But as our friend Goodnick said, like watching this didn't feel like a Marvel movie fully because it's just like with your typical Marvel movie, as we were talking about earlier, it's like you have characters who like try making jokes who don't feel like they should be making jokes at like certain points. But like all the humor in this movie felt like it was like that was a part of their character.
Yeah.
Like with Johnny and Thing and just whatever other humorous shit was going on. It's just like it felt like that was them. That's just their personality. Similarly to Superman, which is why I like this movie damn near just as much the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even like... I think overall, man, the action was also good. I forgot to mention that.
Some of the best.
Action was great.
When Silver Surfer was surfing on the lava.
Oh, that was so sick,
warping
dude.
and doing all that. And they were in the wormhole. That was really good. I saw it. I know I'm like jumping all over the place, but like I saw a theory when they jumped out of the light travel that in that moment, like the Silver Surfer kind of looked confused for like a split second. And the girl's video who I watched like said that potentially like when they jumped out of the light speed that some shit happened where like they split off into two, something, and then the ship that we see at the end of Thunderbolts is like that split off ship, because in the comics, like Reed and Sue have two kids. They have a kid named Valeria, I think, and then Franklin. And so then she was saying that like the ship going towards our universe is carrying Sue with the girl, and then Franklin went to the universe that we were looking at in the movie. And it was just a cool little theory. I thought it was.
But what else? That's so messy, bro.
Because if you remember, they were emphasizing when they were predicting, like in the movie, when you were looking at the news reports and they were predicting like who Sue was gonna have, they were like emphasizing twins a lot.
They were emphasizing twins a lot. Yeah, they were.
So
maybe that's
and
like.
then there was like another hint at it too, which I thought was like a cool little theory. But
that would be so messy though.
It would be messy, but I think like that's the shit that's just like cool to me. Like it's
cool, but it makes the story so much more like it's definitely messy what they're doing. But I mean, they're gonna do a huge reset anyways after the last movie that they're making with what was his name? Iron Man, the Doom. Yeah, the last movie they're making with Doom. Like they're gonna do a huge reset anyway, so I don't think it matters too much. But that's a cool theory though. I think overall, what I would say is, as someone who I'm a Marvel fan, right? But I'm very like, I like how a movie can stand by itself. This movie did just that. I actually like how you don't have to have any prior knowledge of any previous movie to sit here and watch this one.
Yeah.
It was just held it. It's not like Thunderbolts. Like I talk my shit about Thunderbolts. I still don't like Thunderbolts. I don't like a lot of movies that Marvel's coming out with now.
I think the same applies to Thunderbolts, so you don't really have to know.
Yeah, well,
because
yes, you do.
I didn't know these. I didn't know those dudes, and
they had them in previous shows or whatever, and they showed the development or whatever X, Y, and Z, and it's like I don't know. I feel like Thunderbolts was just not executed properly in terms of like just the plot wasn't as good as this one. I don't think the comedy was as good as this one. I don't think
I agree. This is a better.
The familial interactions between the characters, I prefer this one over that 10 times.
Yeah, this is a better movie, I think.
I just think overall, Fantastic Four just did a better job of holding its own, which I think it makes sense to be able to do that because it was a different universe and it's the Fantastic Four. They're separate, so it's not like they rely on the Avengers as of right now in their universe. So overall, I would say.
Well, they are like their world's Avengers.
Yeah, basically they are their world's Avengers. So that's why I would say, like, ultimately, I would give them a solid. I think like a solid 8. Honestly, I think they're on par with each other. I don't think I favor Superman more.
I thought you said you liked Superman more.
Yeah, but I don't favor it much. Like I don't favor it like.
So you wouldn't give it
more
like
that level.
You don't favor it like a 0.5 more. Like it's still
Well, all I'm saying is I favor it a little bit more. I don't favor it a lot more. I think that's why I'm gonna give it an 8 because I do think Fantastic Four was worth the watch in the theater.
Fantastic Four being an 8, that's big. That's a big deal.
That's what I'm saying.
That's coming from you. That's a big deal.
Because it was
sound the alarms.
My biggest gripe is like, can a Marvel movie stand by itself? And this one was able to do that. Like I'm a harsh critic of it, and I don't want to give it a 7 because I do think you can really justify paying $10-12 to go see this at a theater, 1,000%. I don't think it's waste your time if you're a Marvel fan, and even if you're not a Marvel fan, if you just want to go out with your friends or something, this is worth $10, $12.
I'm surprised you've turned a new leaf.
I'm not. Well, you gave it like a 9.5, right?
I said 9.
You said 9.
I
okay.
said 9.
Well, yeah. Then I would say over. But you gave Superman a 9.5. Wait.
Yeah.
Why is your rating so high, like across the board?
I can't enjoy something, nigga.
Okay, bro. I think you're plagued by food, though. I think if you eat food while doing it, like
no, it was just.
That's like
I didn't even need food. I didn't even need food, but like
because
food was just like the 0.5 part of it.
I feel like you're more biased out towards a movie review if you go to your like. Let's just say like you go to the movies and your girl comes and she's giving you head. Like that shit goes up by like 2 points though. No, but that's what
it doesn't.
For you, it's food. Like for you, it's like you eat. I can imagine you eating your pizza and you're like, damn, this movie's gas, man. Like, and you're just eating that shit. Like, I think that influences your decision. I feel like, but regardless, you still aim higher than me, so you would still be higher than an 8, I think, for both ratings. But I would say they were both equally good. I would watch them honestly. It was a breath of fresh air. I don't like how they were released around the same time though. I
liked it.
I don't like it because I feel like it would. Well, in terms of like hurting them, they definitely should have separated a bit more so they can maximize Marvel? Profit. No, Marvel and DC, because I feel like they would have made more money if they just separated. Some people could watch one movie more.
I don't know. I feel like everyone's been going to see both.
Nah, but like overall, it does impact their sales because if people want to go watch a movie, if they only want to watch one movie, they have to decide which one. As opposed to if you have it spaced out, long enough where it's like, oh, I could watch Fantastic Four this month, and then 2 months, 3 months later, I could watch this other movie. So it's like it depends.
Well, I mean, Fantastic Four came out like 3 weeks later. Like it was almost
that's
a
around
month.
the same time,
So
bro.
yeah, but I don't know. I think if you're interested in superhero movies, you're gonna go see both.
Like in my situation, remember I was saying like which one should I watch because I'm only gonna watch one in theaters, and I chose Superman. But overall, I would say 8 out of 10 for that. Go watch Fantastic Four. This is like a good.
What about the end cutscene?
There wasn't really much to the end cutscene, honestly.
I think it was a good segue into what's to come next because it left it up for interpretation, like the Thunderbolts end cutscene. Because obviously we see the Fantastic Four ship, but then it's like now we don't even know who's on that ship. Is it Doom that's on the ship? Is it the did the split theory actually happen, or is it them, and when are they coming on the ship, and do they have the kid with them, or did the kid get kidnapped like in that end cutscene? Like there's a lot up left for
Yeah,
interpretation.
because Doom was just talking to the kid, and Sue comes in, and I feel like
the kid was healing his face, I think.
Could be, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what people were saying.
My thing is like, yeah, because he saved his mom, he healed his mom. So it's like my thing is like I don't really understand. Man, there's just so many like world-ending threats and also broken characters. They're just adding so many different. It's like a lot sometimes when you think about it. It's like all these characters are like it's so deep. And I don't know if you've seen the casting list for this last movie, but god damn, that's a lot of names, bro. This might be like Avengers Endgame, and I didn't like Avengers Endgame because there's like 100,000 people on one screen.
Maybe this upcoming Avengers movie is similar to the first one, where it's like all of these characters actually coming together and interacting for the first time, rather than being like a Infinity War Endgame type of movie. Because you have to think about it, a lot of the characters that are coming into this Doomsday movie
they don't know each other.
haven't been on screen together for the first like ever.
Unless they pull that bullshit where it's like, oh yeah, we were old friends back in the day. Like if Marvel pulls something like that, it's gonna be annoying.
So they were presented in a way where it's like maybe this is a coming together movie, and then Secret Wars is like actually whatever happens in that happens in that, whether it be like Doom coming to our universe and then starting his, I don't know what this shit's called, the something games or something.
Well, if they're doing a reset, none of this will matter. Which frankly, I just feel like
I think it's a soft reset.
How could it be but how can it be a soft reset? Like you gotta, because they're already looking to cast a new Iron Man, they're looking to cast a new Captain America, so this has to be a full reset.
Because like, I saw people saying that at the end of Secret Wars, maybe Doom will actually win, and that will then he would be the one doing like whatever soft reset, whether it be like starting over our current universe or making a whole new universe or something to that degree, to where like characters involved within Secret Wars would still be in the story, but then there will also be some who aren't anymore, which would then make that soft reset make sense. If that makes,
I just feel like when you have all these characters come in and they're all from different dimensions, they have to be, because X-Men is not in the universe of Marvel.
The OG X-Men.
The OG X-Men. Yes. So it's like you can't do that. So what's basically left ultimately is like you have to just bring all these characters together, because they bring back Wolverine, all the OGs, and then just wipe them out off the face of the planet and just do like a whole new universe. Like I think that makes the most sense, because like you're gonna bring all these characters.
I think a lot of the older characters
and not kill them off in that whole movie.
Yeah, I think a lot of the older characters are definitely going.
No, I think they all, dude. How can you not, when you bring all these characters together? And let's just say you kill some of them, but not all of them, and then you're going to continue the story with some of them. It doesn't make sense. I think it just makes sense to do a reset with every character there.
But I think some of the I don't think some of the newer characters would be that quick to go.
I think people like Fantastic Four, they can make a few more movies in their own universe. They don't have to do movies in that universe already established in Marvel. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like some characters can still reside in their own respective universe, but I think the meshing of all of them have to get reset completely. They have to do a whole new universe like that to mesh them all together again. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, the cheat code for Marvel is simple. New Marvel Avengers team, have some different people, but keep the core members, and a new endgame threat that will come across over the course of 20 different movies, and that's it. Boom. Reset again. They kill characters so easily that should have been in the comics. Like, for instance, right? Ultron to me is a character that could have been fleshed out over the course. He could have been an Avengers level threat over the course of 20 movies, because he is a world-ending threat. Like, he lives on for years. He's not defeated by simply having his heart ripped out, and then you had Vision just blow him up because he disconnected him from the Wi-Fi.
I think some of these villains have
you see what I'm saying? Some of these villains, they kind of just
throughout a couple movies,
yes.
which they, I guess they kind of.
They really didn't. They only did it with Thanos.
They kind of did with Thanos, but like he was really like present in those two main ones. But wasn't he teased a lot in like ones prior to Infinity War?
Yeah, he was teased like a few times,
Like,
but
he was doing work behind the scenes.
Yeah, he was doing work behind the scenes. But that's what I'm saying. They need to have something like that again. Pick a different
but on like
villain.
a longer scale.
Yeah, because bro, you can't like Ultron should have had way more. I think Ultron's like one of my favorite characters in Marvel, and the fact that he was just defeated like that is crazy to me. It was cool, the movie. I like the movie, but it's just like these characters could be characters that could be stretched across 20 different movies, and then you get to the end game of the movie, and that's how you could wrap things up for that universe and that timeline. New reset, baby, and then it's like a whole new end game threat.
I know Doom is a big threat, so maybe.
Yeah, but Doom was just recently introduced.
That's what I'm saying. But maybe this is the start of like a long reign for him.
And that would be totally cool.
Because it's like maybe as I was saying with the Secret Wars, maybe that reset does happen by him winning, and then now that reset is them building up to actually beat him. Does that make sense? Like after Secret Wars, he wins, right? There's some sort of reset, but he's still the main villain.
I don't think he's gonna win. Marvel doesn't do that.
Who knows?
Marvel doesn't do that. Dude, I'm being serious. I don't think.
But maybe they could switch it up.
I think no. I think like no matter what, it's gonna be a grand reset. And I think the Avengers are gonna win, and that's it. Reset.
Narratively, that just wouldn't make sense if they win, and then it's like, okay, that's it. We're done. The end. Let's start over. That doesn't make sense.
Dude? This is Marvel we're talking about. Like we're coming from a background of like watching a whole lot of different stories from like different people, whether it's anime, manga, the normal television, comics. I don't think the writers are going to be that creative either in the way they're going to be like, oh, let's have him win and reset the universe that way.
I don't think.
Why would Doom win?
Enough credit.
Why would, bro? Because it has been the same for the past God knows how many years. The heroes always win.
You have to think about it. We start with Iron Man, right? We got all this momentum coming up to Infinity War, and it's like that's peak. So then it's like after that peak, they try to capitalize, which obviously they didn't take the best route by going all these shows, and they just tried to push all this content, all these new characters, because in Infinity War, it's like we had all this content and characters built up over the years. So I feel like they were just like, fuck it, let's just push out more. And obviously that didn't serve them well. So now they're trying to they're in the middle of fixing that. And I feel like part of fixing that could be allowing Doom to win at the end of Secret Wars and then enabling a soft reset, where he is still a main villain of the story, and then all of these new characters are now coming together to then in turn beat him at the end of the day.
Julian, name me a superhero movie.
They just need to make me the director of this shit.
Name me a superhero movie where they lost.
Infinity War.
That's different. That's a part 1, part 2. Name me a superhero movie that lost.
You're right, but change is inevitable at some point.
I know, but
so it's
dude, I would love to. But here's the thing, right? It wouldn't make any sense because no matter what, they have to win, because Doom winning wouldn't make sense. They get to the last film of their current universe
of Phase 6.
They have Doom win, and then he's the main villain for the next 30 movies. Like that doesn't make sense. I think at this point, Marvel is just so full of
granted,
idiots that they're just going to end up having Doom be in these next few films. He's the villain for these next few films. We're going to kill him off, and then we're going to do a huge reset. Whole new villain.
Granted, I don't have much comic book knowledge, but like, do you know like how Doom is in the comics?
I'm speaking from the perspective of like, I don't think they're going to let him win. No, he's the most intelligent. He's like, the one thing I do know, he's like by far one of the most intelligent beings on like in the universe. Like he's very intelligent.
The scale to which I've heard he like takes things and goes to things on like a cosmic galactic level, it's just like ridiculous, which is why I could see them going that route if they want to like make shit interesting.
I would love for that, but my thing is
we could see at the end of next year. We could go to the theater together. We'll watch the movie.
How many movies are left? How many movies are left?
It's Spider-Man summer next year, and then Doomsday December 18th of 26, and then Secret Wars I think like November of the next year or summer of the next year.
Yeah, so here's my thing, right? I get what you're saying, but Doom being a character, I think if they went down the route you're talking, for that to be the end game threat, it would have to be similar to what they did with Thanos, which is what Let's have him span over the course of the next 20 years. We're making all these movies leading up to him being the end game threat. And you see him slowly in all these different movies as we progress into the end here. And then we get to the final battle. But they're doing this in like 2 movies. And they just introduced him recently.
I understand, but the concept of Secret Wars is like completely different than what Infinity War and Endgame was. Like from what I know of the Secret Wars battleground or whatever the fuck, it's like Doom is like in complete control of that and like gathering multiple universes, throwing them against each other and blah, blah, blah. So then it's like, I think there is a scenario where niggas lose and then like he is still in control. And then it's like, not that we'd get like a Secret Wars 2 in the future, but like another Doom related film in the years to come afterwards. Like, I don't think Secret Wars necessarily is equal to Endgame, is what I'm trying to say.
I know, I get what you're saying. And I would love for something like that. I like having Marvel take different directions, but it's just, I don't think it's going to happen, bro. Because I'm also thinking about it now. They have flopped so many good characters. Like the Skrull. I love the Skrull. That was like one of my favorite iterations of like Marvel when they introduced the Skrull being like, they can be disguised as anybody. You don't know who actually is who they say they are. And they like blundered it in like one TV show.
What TV show was that?
It was
that the
it was like
Chameleon?
she it was like
that
a
the Chameleon dude?
Huh?
Or was that the dude that's name was like Chameleon? Or am I thinking of
I don't
someone
remember,
else?
bro. No,
Okay,
I just had
okay.
like director Nick Fury. He basically, the Skrull apparently already invaded, and it's just like it just wasn't good. Like they like butchered a timeline of a villain for, in my opinion, no reason. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. I think you're thinking so deep into it as a fan that you want this to be so good. But at the end of the day, it's Marvel we're talking about. And I feel like it won't get good until, like, for me, Doom feels like a character that would be someone that's stretched over the course of like X amount of years, X amount of movies that they build up to. Because from what I hear about him, he's insanely busted. Because he's like the most intelligent guy in the universe. Like, it's like crazy.
I don't even think he starts that way. I think he just develops.
No, he develops that way. But then we don't even see that, by the way. So if you're not a Marvel watcher, you don't see him already being that level of threat. There's no backstory to him. You kind of just know that he's busted, which I assume they're assuming that comic book fans know that. And that's cool. Yeah.
I don't think he's in a state of being busted right now, though.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think
I don't know what they're doing, to be honest.
Throughout Doomsday, and I don't know what's going to happen in Spider-Man Brand New Day, because I know that's a lot more grounded of a film, supposedly like a city level joint. So I don't know if we would get any information regarding him in that film, but I think we'll maybe see whichever ways he will gain strength in Doomsday, and in Secret Wars we will see the actual use of that power. And because I saw people saying like he was also trying to come for Loki's throne as well. Because you saw the end of Loki, right? I didn't see it, but I know how it ends.
No, I didn't see that in Loki.
I think the throne he sits on controls all of, it's either the multiverses or just like the realities. Like he is in control of all of that now, basically.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And it's like I heard it's like a really good show, like when you like see him get to that point, because that's like kind of like been his whole motive or objective this whole time, to get to like that spot. So, and Loki is in the next movie confirmed, so I think Doom may try to get to that point, and then that's where the birth of the Secret Wars concept would come from, by him defeating Loki, him being in that spot, and then doing whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
I think at the end of the day, I mean, we can only hope for the best. Regardless, I think I'm excited for the future, though, especially after Fantastic Four.
I'm optimistic.
I'm optimistic for sure. We'll see
think.
what they do. DC, I think I'm very excited for them. So we'll see how those turn out. The next thing I want to talk about actually was, I don't know if you've been caught up with this, but there's something called a T app, spelled the T app. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately, you heard of it?
I don't think it's the best app.
Oh, I thought you were making it seem like you were on it, like someone exposed you. Like,
oh no,
because you've heard of it. Unfortunately,
I don't know what they do on there.
Okay,
Maybe I was.
Okay, I'll break it down to you. So like, I want to bring it up because it's been making like headlines lately. Basically, the T app is like, it's a place where women can go. I assume single women, because they're the ones complaining about it.
Yeah.
But it's marketed as like a platform where you can share stories, warnings, and like red flags about people. But it's essentially Yelp for men.
Well, that's crazy.
Like Yelp for women. No, Yelp targeted towards men.
I saw people saying like, you know how in, not trying to get political, but you know how like in China they have like a secret credit score.
Yeah.
People were saying like,
It's
it's crazy
like
how like dudes now have that.
I was like,
It seems damn near illegal.
let me explain
Like,
to you
it
though.
doesn't seem ethical.
Literally, you know how it works? The women post pictures of their exes, essentially doxing them.
Maybe I'm on there, yeah.
And then we could look you up, by the way. It's by names. They put their name.
How do you,
They put these women single. They have to be
because if
single
I
doing
was
this
on there,
shit.
there's only one culprit. So it's like, really, there's only one. So if I saw myself on there, yeah,
That's what I'm saying, bro. So keep in mind, right? These women put the name of the dude, a photo of the dude, the job description of the dude, jobless, works at X, Y, and Z. They put all this stuff and they post them online, and then they'll make a comment for themselves, or they'll wait till other women comment to figure out if he's a red flag or not.
so it's just anonymous hating.
It's anonymous hating, right? But like you're basically doxing guys because these women are legit posting what they do, how they do it, like their experience with them.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. You're doxing people.
It's dangerous.
Which, funny enough, the ironic part about it is the app got breached. In order to partake in the app, you have to be a woman, and you have to put like your address, your ID.
I saw it. And you have to like take a picture of yourself.
And it got breached, and now all of the data from all these women that were talking shit basically has been leaked. So now people have their location, their addresses, their information, everything.
And then that's also dangerous.
And that's also dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's almost funny as it's actually kind of like karma. It's like you dox these guys, and now you're getting doxed back. That's kind of bizarre to me.
And it's like, granted, concept, I get it. Like I get.
What do you get by the concept?
I get in this day and age why that would be a thing.
To prevent you from getting with the wrong guy?
Yeah, like, and
Okay.
I could see it like on the other side of the coin too, like men having an app like that, but I just don't feel like men. I don't feel like men would be as invested in an app like that as women.
Dude, there's a double standard though. If a guy's made an app about that, we would be literally shit on for the rest of our life.
If
we made an app where we shit on our exes, bro. No, dude.
There'd be outrage.
We would look like losers. But then when women do it, it's almost. But again, it's not all women. You could tell like when you go on this app, and I'll go over a few examples. When you go on this app, there's some. Like you can tell these women are just like single, frustrated, and annoyed at men.
I'm sure there are women on there who are actually just genuinely looking for advice.
Yeah, but
posting about certain like certain behaviors and certain dudes and certain
typical patterns, I guess.
Yeah, and just like trying to seek advice from other women in a safe space.
Yeah, but the issue is like
people take it too far.
People take it too far, and then some of these women, bro. I'll go into a few examples, but some of these women have gone on like 2-3 dates with a dude, and they're like writing a whole paragraph as to why they're not great people. But it's like, how much can you? That's us trusting you, so we have to trust you that you're telling that you're 100% truthful. Funny part is a lot of guys came out that were doxxed by these women, and they posted online like threatening to sue the app because it was completely bullshit. Like. This guy, this one guy had receipts.
Isn't that defamation?
Yeah, like defamation. This one guy had receipts of all the things that she said that he didn't do, but that he had receipts for all the things that he did do. So she was lying out of her ass, and then he explained that the reason why they broke up is because it was literally her, and he went into details as to why they did that, and he showed receipts. Like that's what I'm saying. These women could also be sabotaging other women that are trying to find a good man because they weren't satisfied or they were broken up with by that man.
That's why we gotta just
disgusting.
That's why we gotta quit with the dating apps. Just quit with that. Just meet niggas in real life, yo.
But so basically, like, and it's crazy because again, you can search up the guy's name. So like, let's just say this girl wanted to date you, Jillian. She could just be like, "Let me look him up,"
which is rare.
Oh, this guy said he's rocking a 6-inch, horrible in bed.
Which is a lie, by the way. I mean, that's a blatant lie.
But that's what I'm saying is like these people, they can do that. They can do that. There's women that actually do that. I'll go over a few examples too. But my issue with it, a lot of people's issue with it is that there's no due process. So you can never verify what these women are saying. But no matter what, people typically believe women over men in a lot of situations. And these situations it's kind of shitty because they could be making false claims, which they have been. Not all of them, but there have been women that have been making false claims.
I'm sure there are women who are just like angry at certain situations. Emotions may be high, so then they're saying a bit, exaggerating a little bit, like shit you do every day. You exaggerate all the time. So
that's what I'm saying. But then guys can't respond. That's the big issue. Because they can't touch the app. The other thing is too is like the harassment and the doxing. So you could post names, photos. Personal photos of the dude, by the way, like real personal photos of the dude, personal information of the men. And it's just like that could be signed as like harassment, Like that could, as
all
like
the above, yeah.
cyberbullying, especially you could be like bullshitting and whatever. It's like it's really just unethical. It's also dangerous.
Why can't we just love each other, yo?
That don't happen around here.
Seriously.
But then you also have like, again, there's like double standards. It's like if we made an app, bro, they would call us misogynistic and completely shit on our life. They make an app and it's just like, all right, boys.
I mean,
lock in again. We gotta lock back in.
Don't get it wrong. They're getting shit on. Like
they are getting shit on.
Yeah.
But again, guys wouldn't even be allowed to make the app. We would be like actually shut down the next day.
I think it would.
It would be a lot worse if guys
the hate
made the
would
app.
be a lot more present if it was the other way around.
The issue
Like
is
you
too.
would see a lot more people talking about it.
The purpose of the app is for empowerment and for relatability. But it's just it's literally it's revenge disguised as that. It's literally people just like being mad and just complaining about these dudes and exposing them online. That's literally what it is. It's just malicious behavior. It's not like this is not a good community to be a part of. And if a woman is a part of that community, it's like, damn, bro. Well, you got doxxed anyways, I guess, because your data got breached. But if you were someone that's posting someone else's information or making false claims, but even if you're not making false claims, who's to say that the last time you spoke with this guy, he hasn't grown over the course of 3 months, realized his faults, and wants to become better? But now you made it harder for him to find a girl because all the girls are looking up his name and they don't like him.
It's just a snowball on there. I feel like it's like anger.
It's just negative things that come out of it.
Anger begets more anger. That's a good quote. But like that's like it just brews more and more, and it's just like it's too much. I'll
give you some examples.
Pretty toxic.
I'll give you some examples. I won't put out names either here, but all right. So this one girl ghosted me after 3 dates, told me he was busy with work, but I saw him at the bar with another girl. Trash human. Ladies, avoid him at all costs.
Sounds like a dog to me.
That's like
I mean, what's wrong with that?
that sounds like a dude that gave it 3 dates, didn't want to really like let her down.
Gotta communicate. Like for me, I like even on Hinge, like I'll like dibble on it like here and there, just hop on and see what's happening. Like the other day, got a match. Girl said, "Hey," I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to respond, and I feel bad because that.
Yeah, you feel bad about it.
I get one match every 6 months, so it's like that's rare. That's rare in itself. But like, the more I like looked at her profile and looked at her, I was like, I just don't.
You're not
feel
really
like,
interested. Yeah,
I just don't feel like she's my type, and
Yeah.
she messaged me first, which that's rare.
Oh,
Also,
she was not your type. Let me guess. Not white.
she was white. All right,
Oh, so
but
no blurred vision.
She was.
How big was her forehead? That's the indicator for you.
She was white, but she seemed a bit on the shorter end, and I think I would like
You are a tall dude.
5'7" and up.
Okay, that's
I feel
reasonable.
like.
That's reasonable.
And I was just like, you know what? It's not even. I feel like I would be doing her a disservice if I entertain this. So I'm just not going to say anything, and I just unmatched her. And even that I felt bad with because she said like, "Hey," with a smiley face, and I was like, I feel terrible. I was going somewhere with that. Oh yeah, because that guy ghosted. I think communication is important when like, especially if you're a couple dates in. Like, if you don't want to talk to someone anymore, like I never understood the ghosting thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you should always
And it's-
communicate, but
it-
some
and
guys
it's
don't
hard.
have the heart in them to do that.
It is hard to like tell someone that like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I get that, but it's like, I feel like as a grown ass dude, like you kind of just have
to be straight up about
you
it.
have to hunker down like within yourself and just like do it. Like I don't know. I feel like being scared about it, it's not going to do you any justice.
Yeah, man. And honestly, but here's my issue is that you see how that was formatted. It plays him as like a piece of shit guy, but maybe he's just someone that didn't find it successful, has a hard time communicating,
Yeah.
and just wanted to find somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. Maybe he could have communicated better. Yes, that could be improved. But the way she worded the whole thing was avoid him at all costs. Like what? That's just one example. Another one is, this is crazy. He's a narcissist. He's a manipulator. Probably cheated on his ex.
Sounds like she's quoting
I felt
Kendrick.
super weird energy. Trust your gut. Stay away.
Wait, she said probably cheated on his ex?
Probably. So she's just assuming. That's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying here? It's like I get we're being targeted, man, but damn, like these women are coming at us like guns
she's
to our balls.
she's
Like,
saying,
what is
she's
this?
just saying stuff to say it.
That's what I'm saying. And then again, that's another example. That's one. I'm not gonna dox this guy. This guy lives.
That's dead ass just hating, man.
This guy lives XX on the street. He drives a black Audi. He works at, I won't say the company name.
That's the
He
problem.
works at this company name. He's a classic love bomber who disappears after a month. How would you know that if you just saw him and maybe he just didn't really fuck with you after
That's
a
the
month?
problem.
You've been warned.
That's the problem. Like, with niggas on social media think they can say anything, and it's like you could have like maybe there's a dude hypothetically who breaches the app, right? And he's a thug, and he sees this nigga getting doxxed, and he's like, you know what? Let me just pull up on him and rob him. Like, it's just so dangerous. Like, I know that's like the extreme. Putting people's business out there like that, it just doesn't make sense. And I just don't understand.
They're doxing these people alive.
How like you on the end of like you being the one typing this shit out, pressing send, and then like I just don't know how you're confident doing that and feel good about.
I know it's pretty disgusting.
Feel good about yourself. I just don't get that.
I don't know, dude. It's just mixed. And like this last example I had, I won't say the name. X thinks, I'll just say Adam or whatever. Adam thinks he's God's gift to women. He's mid in bed. He tries too hard to be woke.
Come on, yeah.
And he has bad breath. Stop giving this guy attention.
Come on, 6
Adam. 6 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. We should just do a segment reviewing the T app.
Dude, I like
6 out of 10 is pretty solid.
Imagine I said she's horrible in bed. She tries too hard to be like woke, a bit overweight, has bad breath. I would be destroyed online just by the women online.
Yeah, that'd be ugly.
And it's like that. But you get what I'm saying? It's like this is not even like a warning. I mean, I guess you could say it's a warning, but it's like it's an insult. It's just like degrading people for no reason. And like, who's to say that the last time you spoke with this person, maybe they became better?
I'm sure a lot of the people on here are hurt in their own ways. Not even just by this person, maybe by past relationships, trauma, family situations. And it's like this is an outlet for them to kind of just release anger and release emotions. But it's like shit's on the internet forever. Like that's if you want to like release shit like that, you kind of just have to talk to someone verbally or journal the shit. Like that's just not safe to be putting out on the internet for everyone to see, because it's like, yes, it's within the space of the T app, but then it's like shit gets leaked as you're not even a part of the app now, and like we're just like now we're reading it, you know, and anyone can now see information about Adam being mid in bed and having bad breath and not brushing his teeth. So it's like, get on that, yo. Seriously.
I know, man. It's just like, I mean, I feel like in society today, bro, dating has changed so much. But again, you could tell, like, if you go on the app, which definitely don't go on it because people's information is being leaked.
It's a scary scene.
As you could just tell by looking at these, looking at these people, they're single, they have been through some trauma, and they just haven't worked themselves, because it's like these people are complaining about dudes that should already be left in the past that they're bringing up now. Imagine, like, if I go out of my way to post my ex, if I go out of my way to do that, it just shows that I'm still immature and I haven't grown, because I'm still harboring hate from this person,
and you're just like holding on to emotions. Yeah.
These women all they're really doing is showing that like these guys still live in their mind rent free, and they haven't worked on themselves enough to realize that they have to grow individually so that they can forget about their past and look towards the future and grow from the past, not just forget about it. We grow from it. You can just tell these women are still stuck in the past.
And I think some of these situations, like, some of these girls just want something to be wrong with these guys when, like,
as opposed to looking at themselves.
In reality, probably not that much was wrong with them, and they were like genuinely good dudes. But like, as you said, they just can't look at themselves, and they want to redirect the. I don't know if it's like the blame as to like why things didn't work out. Like, just redirect that onto the dude and just start calling them this X, Y, and Z, rather than just like introspectively looking at themselves and being like, you know what, maybe I was. Not the whole problem, but part of the problem as to why this didn't work out.
Dude, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have
really be a relationship therapist or something, yo. Seriously.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I just feel like I just never could feel like I would ever want to be malicious. I mean, don't get me wrong. At one point, I was an incel back in the day, for sure. After like my first, maybe second traumatic experience. Yeah. But then as like years went by, I realized like I'm an idiot. Like I have to work on myself. And then you realize like as you grow, like it's really just you. So it's like I look back at my past. I would never want to talk shit about a woman like that, even if she hurt me in that way.
It's hard for me to be malicious. Like, even with situations like this, like anyone who I've talked to previously, like it's hard for me to view them in a bad light. That's just not. Yeah. Like, obviously, emotions during certain times, like anger, sadness, whatever. But like when it's all said and done, like it is more unhealthy for me to not forgive and just like harbor resentment, like, because then I think that just weighs me down emotionally, and I'm not allowed to blossom into what I'm supposed to truly be as a person, you know. So
Yeah, if you still harbor that hate, it feels like you're still carrying that load.
You're just holding yourself back.
Yeah, you're carrying the load. I mean, overall, I think I just want to bring that up because I know it's just been like really popping lately, and I do think people are just taking things too far at this point. I think dating has just been completely. Dude, we live in a weird time, man. I'm telling you, we live in that transition period. Like, this is becoming like, I don't know. It's like all out warfare. Like, you can't even. I feel like you just can't get away with anything now, which is a good and bad thing. I feel like you just can't feel like you are living a private life anymore with somebody else because you feel like they could always just post about you, do X, Y, and Z about you. So it's much harder to take a risk. Why do you think guys, wasn't there like people who are 25 or like up now, like there's like what was it, like 50% of guys or 60% or something like that they haven't asked a woman out in real life or just asked a girl out in general?
It's tough. It's tough for me to do
because they're scared to like be in these situations.
You just don't want to be. You just don't want to come off as
a
creep because I'm not gonna air my friend out. But like last night when we went out, we got there at 11. Night was going good. Like 2 a.m. came and like he wasn't really getting active like that till like this girl walked by and he kind of like tapped her back and he dead ass. He was just like. And then she came in. No, it was crazy. It was a crazy fourth quarter performance he had because he came and then he said, I don't know what he said. The music was loud. Got her number, right? And then night's about to end, but then this nigga's activated. I've seen you go crazy. He started going like boom, boom, boom. Like he was docile the whole night, nigga. Like he was just chilling. But as soon as that happened, he was just like, he started. Next girl, there was a girl dancing on this nigga and he went up to this girl and he started like moving with her a little bit. She just redirects her attention from the dude. I don't know if this was her boyfriend, I don't know what, just starts dancing with my guy. And then he just like danced with her for 30 seconds, went on his way to the next girl, and he was just like talking to this girl, that girl. But like the way he was getting so close and personal with these women, to me, from an outsider looking in, I'm gonna be honest, some of it I thought he was harassing these women, but that's the thing. It's hard to read. It's hard to read because like a lot of them were digging it and just in the confidence he was coming with. But it's like at one point you're gonna get like that bad apple who does take it as harassing, and it's like obviously he has to like control himself and like not be too
he has
close.
To be aware of it.
Yeah, but like, aware. But then it's like you're gonna get that one girl. It's like she's gonna be the wrong girl, and then she views it that way, and then it's like, damn, like I didn't mean to overstep my boundaries like that. But that's like where the intimidation comes for me because I don't want to overstep that boundary. So seeing him like,
I think he was treading on the line. He wasn't overstepping.
Like for me,
he was treading on the line.
For me, in terms of how I would go about it, he was overstepping every boundary. Like I would go, like how I would go about things. But like I guess that's just how he works. But
that's
like
just how he operates. Everyone got
it was just a very eye-opening thing. But at the same time, it's like that's the scary part about it for me because I just don't like. I don't want to come off as like a weirdo because I know I'm not like the most. I've got confidence, but like I'm a weird, goofy dude. So like I feel like
but I mean, girls like that though.
Yeah, but I feel like it could also come off as like, what's this dude like? He'll get away from me, you know.
Don't mess with somebody that don't want to mess with you at first either, right? So it's like I feel like for that dude, he probably knows his limits, and he also knows like when a girl's not feeling it, he just backs away. Because I don't think he would commit to something that a girl's not really feeling him.
The thing is,
was that happening?
There was this girl. It was this. I don't know if it was her mom. There was this girl,
and then she was. Damn.
There was this girl, and then she was with this older woman who may or may not have been her mom. He was like, he comes out of the club. He's like, "Fuck it, man. I like in this economy, bills need to get paid. I'm looking for a mama. I'm looking for a sugar mama." Like he was like, "I'm looking for."
I might have fun with this guy.
No, he's good. He's funny.
He seems like a great time to be around.
She found this older woman. She was like 45, and he was like asking her name, shaking her hand. Like he had his hand out and she wasn't shaking. He was like, "Damn, you're not gonna shake my hand," and like she did. And it's like when to me, it's like when you say like the "damn, you're not gonna like shake my hand," they're already not feeling you. In my head.
Why would you think that?
Because he had his hand held out for like a decent, like he did like twice, and she still was like arms crossed. not shaking the dude's hand. So then I'm like, okay, she's not feeling him. But then she shakes his
He probably hit
hand.
him with that. He probably hit her with that finesse, bro. Like the
No,
way
he
you
was,
introduced yourself.
Because then they started like
I'm gonna shake my hand.
talking, and she was laughing. She eventually bought him pizza, and like.
The bills gotta get paid.
And then she was like, and then she was like, I'm old enough to be your mom. I can't talk to you. Like, I'm not doing that. And then he was like, all right, whatever. And then he was like, the other girl's name was
bouncing.
And then other girl that was with her, she was like, all right, her name was Stacy. And then he was like, Stacy, here's what you're gonna do.
I love that. No,
He
I'm
was
liking
like,
this guy.
no, I've never seen him go this crazy.
I'm liking
though.
this guy.
He was like, I'm gonna give you my number. We're gonna exchange, and next morning when I wake up, I'm gonna see good morning, Poppy. That's what. And I was just like, what the fuck?
That's good.
I was
Okay,
like,
here you go. That's crazy.
But
That's
the thing
committing.
Is, the thing is, she was not feeling him. If I was in his position, I would assume she's not feeling me. But lo and behold, 5 minutes later, she's giving him her number, and it's just like,
You'll be surprised.
I just don't know how you read those situations.
Remember, the longest relationships actually, and they've done studies on this. Like the longest relationships, the most successful like marriages, one person liked the other person more when they first met, and that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, and I've heard.
So you could go down the route of you find a girl and she messes with you off rip, you already know you got that on lock, or you find a girl that don't mess with you off rip, but she can start to like you over time.
Yeah, and
those relationships actually stick.
Yeah, and I've heard stories where it's like the dude will ask the woman on a date, they reject him, and they ask him like four more times until they like say yes, and then now they're married 60 years.
A big turn away from guys nowadays is that you're short, maybe you're like not the best looking, maybe whatever. Like you have excuses to why you wouldn't take a shot. But it's like back then when the brothers were working, bro, there was no social media, nothing. They were just slinging that shit. I'm thinking about like now the way he approached him, bro. That's like a goated response too, because I do sales. So like the biggest thing about sales, and that's what helped me translate to real life, was it's never really a no. It's always there's a reason behind the no. So the only way to get a sale in something or achieve something is to like provide a rebuttal every fucking time. Like circle around it to the point where you find the answer.
Yeah, but
so like in that situation,
that's the problem,
he had the perfect response. That was a goated response. Like when he stuck out his hand and then he obviously responded by like, oh, you're not gonna really shake my hand? Like the way he plays it off, that's the best rebuttal.
Yeah, and he was doing it in a joking manner, but like to me, I just like,
dude,
that's
he's
like
goated for
you're
that.
like treaded on thin ice for me.
What's the
Like
worst you could say? No. But the thing is, that's what I'm saying. If you're good at what you do, well, specifically for sales or just talking to people, you expect the no. So that, because as long as you expect the no, you never be disappointed. And plus, you know where to go from there because you got rebuttals. So like with him, he conquered that woman like instantaneously. I mean, like that was a perfect rebuttal.
Crazy way to put it, yo.
No, I'm serious, dude, because it's a game, bro, and this works in real life too. Like it's never really. If I wanted to convince somebody, if I say, hey, we should go out tonight. If I wanted to really convince them, I would sit there and like just rebuttal him for the next 20 minutes to convince him to go out.
Like, I feel like you're harassing him at that point.
No, bro, because
I know you could feel the energy from some people, so it's like maybe they're like playing hard to get, and they're like kind of playing with you a little bit and just trying to like have that back and forth.
So keep in mind,
and
right?
Have you work for it.
No is a default response because people feel safe. You want to find out the answer to things, so it's better to be disappointed. Like expect a disappointment at first, so when you get that no, you go around it by rebutting or by providing a rebuttal, and then you figure out what the answer is. So if he said that to the lady and she was like, "I have a husband," that's the answer. Walk away, because she didn't say that the first time. She just said no.
Older lady,
but at least now he knows she's got a husband.
The older lady said she had a dude though after the handshake.
Well, he's a menace for that.
No,
then.
after the handshake, after she agreed to buy him pizza.
But yeah, that's
he
fine.
was like she doesn't have to know, or he doesn't have to know. But I think he wasn't.
He must have been joking.
He was gonna take it that far.
Yeah, he must have been
but
joking.
Like I think he was just like in that joking mood at that point.
But honestly, that's the way you respond though, because he jokingly made it seem like, because that's a big thing too. You gotta show like you don't give a fuck. And that's like in anything you do with men and women, doesn't matter in sales in general. You want to show like they need you more than you need them. His approach was so perfect because it seemed like he was laid back when he said his response, as if it doesn't even trouble him like that. Again, if she had said I have a husband at that point, he got his answer. He's happy now. He walks away. If there's another reason that he can work around, he'll secure the bag. That's kind of how it works in sales. And that's the same thing with women. So it's like, I think he killed that shit, bro. I mean, I would love to go out with this guy. I won't lie to you.
He went crazy. I
just
don't know where that switch happened, because like he's not a shy dude going crazy. He was like 5 for 5 from mid range.
You just don't, bro, because we're more, it's like in general, people in general, there's always a line in our head that we don't want to cross. because we just have an imaginary line for ourselves. For what
I could understand that because it's like I've never done anything to the lengths of that, but even something as small as when I got like the Instagram that one time from that one girl.
You should have steamrolled right after that.
Like I felt steamroll potential. Like I literally went to the bartender. I was like, man, give me another one.
Like, on the house, man.
Let's go, man.
On the house. Nah, I agree with you, bro.
It's just like a confidence surge. It's almost like I guess it's a dopamine like
because you didn't fail
really quick.
You did not fail. You got the dub. That's why like people don't realize when you get the win in something, keep go. Like it's like in sales when you get like a sale in something, the top performers tell you every time, oh, you got that first sale of the day. All right, then get back on it. Mm-hmm. Like don't stop. Don't take a break because you're high right now. You're high right now. Go crazy, and then you realize that you can roll into like so many more wins. Mm-hmm. So like. Clearly, that guy was hitting shot for shot for shot. He was like, okay, I'm gonna keep going because he realized he's capable of that. But I think social media, the way culture is now, it's very like anti. I don't want to say anti-men, but kind of like anti to just like being real with people in real life because you feel like you can't even get that because you have mirages of like online personas and real life personas.
I think it's just harder to be real with people in real life because everyone is so engrossed in the phone that it's like
they compare so
not
often.
Even like you feel like if you step out of your box and you like attempt to be real with someone that you're kind of the weird one because everyone is so locked in to technology and not really paying attention to real life like that. Like you kind of feel like you're the odd one out if you're going out in public and just saying hi to someone to say hi to someone. Like people like view that shit as weird now. Which like
in other countries is pretty common, by the way.
Yeah, like
other countries
like
culturally.
I remember in Europe, I was just walking out not Switzerland and Scotland, and I was just taking a walk late at night, and then like this group of moms just came up to me and they were just having conversation, ladies touching on my hair, and it's like I didn't feel any
hostility,
and I didn't feel like I was in danger in any way, and I didn't feel like it was weird. Because everyone out there was very hospitable. Like, not even just them. Like, when Jax was taking a picture, some lady just came up and, like, flicked up with him for no reason at all.
Yep.
Just because. And it's just like,
but I mean,
I don't see.
He a light-skinned dude in Europe.
Yeah,
you know what
and it's like, I don't see a lot of that here unless people are drunk and, like,
yeah, they don't.
high,
Because they're not open to. Because everyone here is very bro.
And it's like, if you do that when you're, like, sober, then you're weird.
Yeah. And it's like, I'll go to other places and, like, that's why I love other foreign countries like Mexico, Colombia. Every country has their problems, but like one thing I miss about those countries is like
community.
It's very it's community oriented.
Yeah.
So like I'll walk outside, motherfuckers be calling my name like, where the fuck I know you from? Oh, there'll be one thing is like there's something called chisme. Basically, it's like drama, like talking. Mm-hmm. People would have like that's like a big issue with those countries. Like there's a lot of chisme. Like people know your information before you even find out. Like I'd be walking outside, someone telling me that like, oh, my cousin's pregnant. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm like, how do you even know? Like, you're the neighbor. Like, and you don't even talk to us. Like, the culture in America is just so, it's not a great place to date. I mean, you can still find somebody. You just got to be willing to push yourself out there. Because like you had told me that I've taken that advice, especially when I was going through stuff, was like, we're all struggling through something. So it's like, you think someone's above you, but they really also going through something similar.
No one's above anyone. And the thing is, it's like, there are people like us, right, who are also searching for that like stability and that monogamy and love and stuff. So like by default, there's obviously going to be women who are searching for the same thing. It's just like in this climate where we're exposed to so much online, it just seems like there is less and less of that. When I feel like that it is there, but that's why you have to go and join the run club or go to this bar and like go out and meet people rather than
try activities,
staying in the confines of your home. Because of course, if you're looking at shit online, you're going to assume that everyone is this evil, cheating. I'm not going to use like these bad words, but like, you know, like like you're going to assume every woman is scandalous and out here sleeping with this man, because it's like, you're not going out there.
You're not going out and you're watching like pornography.
And you're not meeting people. Yeah.
And pornography is like it's very fake. It's not even, it's like, it's just like a lot of it's just a very like high pace forcing lot. It's just like it doesn't really make sense when you translate it to real life.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I mean, I get it though, bro, because it's a lot easier for a dude to just play video games, stay inside, watch pornography, and not have to take a risk of like putting himself in an awkward spot, being rejected by a woman. So like, especially during the Me Too movement, you have everyone being falsely not everyone being falsely accused. One, people were accused that should have been accused of SA. But there's also people that went through a phase where they were being falsely accused, had their lives taken from them. Why, as a guy, would you want to take a risk when you're grinding so hard right now? Why would you take a risk on a girl? Why? If they could just come out and say, like, look, basically you, right? I'm not saying your career could end, but it could end if a woman comes out and says, hey, he essayed me, blah, blah, X, Y, and Z, horrible experience. And you can maybe sue her for defamation, but you won't be looked at the same way. You won't. They never are. So it's like,
yeah, I see what you're
and
saying.
a lot of people get canceled for that. So imagine if you went through something like that. Why even take that risk as a guy? Now I'm saying this from the perspective of as a guy that would have that type of.
I feel like cancel culture is kind of died down.
Yeah, it's starting to die down now.
Because there are people who have platforms who have done and said worse than like just getting accused for SA, and it's like they still have, which it's like not a good thing, but it's not a bad thing either. I'm not saying for them specifically, but just like the fact that cancel culture is not as present as I feel like it once was, I feel like that's a good thing. Obviously, there are people who shouldn't be having platforms, but I don't think it's as prevalent as it used to be.
I don't know, man. I mean, we live in an awkward place.
Yeah, no, we do.
We do live in an awkward world. And then this whole T app, I mean, because it all came from the T app. I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel like we can't move forward if we're still stuck on these types of things.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, I think we've both been in situations where we might not like someone at first, but then we start to like them. And like a lot of people feel like
absolutely.
They feel like they have to get that
instant connection spark,
within the
which
first
does
date
happen,
or two.
which does happen
There's
sometimes.
checklists of like things that guys or women have for each other. And it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like at the end of the day, it's like people make this so complicated. And like also keep in mind, like we were talking about the T app being like negative. I mean, I can see where it could be beneficial, like here and there, maybe like, oh, this guy has a husband, has a wife, and he was cheating on her with me. That could be like that's not like a horrible thing, but I still think you shouldn't share that online for people to see. But at the same time, too, it's like the other guy, right? He has bad communication issues. I have bad communication issues.
Oh, we know.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm being honest with you.
We're not going to get into that.
I'm trying to work on that, and I've been trying to actively work on that. So it's, maybe hopefully I'm getting better. Realistically, at the end of the day, I feel like any sort of T app, especially made to criticize men or just even women, it's just negative for relationships, bro. You're not going to build anything from it.
Bringing other people down.
Yeah, you're bringing other people down. You're not really bringing yourself up because you're really just keeping yourself at the level that you're basically staying at, having received the trauma and all. But I just want to go over that really quickly just to see how ridiculous, like, I don't know who even thought this was a good idea. But it's getting shut down, so I'm pretty sure.
Oh, confirmed?
I'm pretty sure it's getting shut down. I mean, it's not even worth having anymore. I think overall, I would say this was a good pod. Great conversations. The biggest takeaways, go watch Fantastic Four, go watch Superman, and don't download the T app, I guess.
Yeah. Always get your money. That's all I got.
I appreciate y'all, as always, and take care.
Peace out, y'all boys. Bye, bye, bye.